You wake up tomorrow and Google doesn't exist. Neither does YouTube, Instagram, or Twitter. And whoever still uses Facebook, that's gone too. Your favorite news sites? Blocked. Even Peppa Pig is hard to watch. Welcome to the internet experience of 1.4 billion people in China, where most of them don't even know all of the things they're missing out on. Welcome to Rice Degree, where we teach things they don't teach at Harvard. Today's class explains why our Chinese friends can't watch videos like these. Every year, Freedom House ranks internet freedom across 65 countries. China doesn't just come in last place. They've practically built a throne there and refuse to leave. We're talking about the Great Firewall, the most comprehensive digital censorship system ever created. This is systematic control over what 1.4 billion people can see, say, and think online. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, YouTube, Snapchat, Tumblr, Twitch, Pinterest. Every major Western platform is blocked. The BBC is gone. The New York Times, forget about it. Discord, Amazon, most porn sites, online gambling, all banned. There's actually a website where you can check if your site is blocked in China. However, that website is probably blocked too. Xi Jinping especially despises the Tiananmen Square massacre of 1989. Any mention of it is prohibited. The phrase Tank Man is banned. Its date of June 4th is banned. Even Big Yellow Duck got banned in 2013 after pranksters photoshopped giant rubber ducks over the tanks in that iconic photo. Because apparently, nothing says we're definitely not trying to hide something like banning cartoon waterfowl. June 4th has become known as Chinese Internet Maintenance Day because mysteriously, every year, countless websites need urgent server repairs right around that date. What a coincidence. But the censorship gets much more absurd than you might think. Contrary to popular belief, Winnie the Pooh isn't actually banned in China. Walk through any Shanghai mall and you'll find Pooh Bear plushies in those claw machines. Disney Shanghai has an entire corner dedicated to him. But searches for him were temporarily blocked in 2017 when dissidents noticed President Xi Jinping looks remarkably like the honey-loving bear. The memes comparing Xi to Pooh, Obama to Tigger, and Shinzo Abe to Piglet, those are absolutely banned. That's the level of insecurity we're dealing with here. You can buy the merchandise, but don't you dare make the comparison. When Xi Jinping essentially made himself president for life in 2018, the censors went into overdrive. They banned phrases like 10,000 years, disagree, shameless, personality, and lifelong. They even banned the letter N. Why N? In mathematics, N represents any number, as in Xi could be president for N years. The paranoia runs so deep, they're literally banning variables from algebra. On Bilibili, China's YouTube equivalent, they even had to temporarily ban a 3-button feature for like, tip, and save, because people called it 3 in a row, which could also mean 3 terms in a row. Even food gets political in China, because egg fried rice gets banned every November and December. Yes, really. It's because Mao Zedong's son died in the Korean War on November 25th, allegedly while cooking egg fried rice when American bombers struck. The censors think mentioning this dish during those months is a subtle dig at the Communist Party's founding family. At a certain Asian Games event, photos of 2 female athletes standing together got censored because their uniform numbers were 6 and 4. June 4th, the Tiananmen date. The photos got blurred, photoshopped, or disappeared entirely from mainstream media, though everyone on social media knew exactly why. During the 2008 Beijing Olympics, taxi drivers weren't allowed to be bald. The solution? Cheap toupees that they'd slap on between cigarette breaks, often backwards or sideways. They looked like grumpy Muppets driving tourists around the capital. The government wanted to project an image of youthful vigor, but instead created a city full of obviously fake-haired cab drivers. But all this censorship has a deeper purpose. The goal isn't to totally control all Chinese inhabitants. It's the illusion of giving them freedom with invisible boundaries. Give people just enough to make them feel they're not being restricted, but not enough to actually challenge the system. If you take away everything, people have nothing left to lose. Luckily for you, you are free to watch whatever you want, and are totally free to subscribe to Rice Degree. You could even like and comment down below. Chinese citizens could also watch my channel by using a VPN, which 30 to 40 million of Chinese internet users have used in 2025. There are plenty of Chinese citizens on Twitter, from government shills to anime artists. Unlike North Korea, Chinese citizens can travel and study abroad, potentially exposing them to dangerous ideas like democracy, free speech, or the letter N. So how does China maintain control when escape routes exist? The solution is genius in its simplicity. Instead of just blocking everything, create an alternative digital universe so compelling that people don't want to leave. Enter WeChat, the super app that rules Chinese digital life. It's messaging, social media, money transfers, gaming, maps, reviews, and contains apps within apps. It's so comprehensive that leaving it feels like digital exile. The CEO is a Communist Party member. The app includes tracking software. Politically sensitive messages vanish automatically, but it's so convenient that people don't care. There are Chinese equivalents to Google, Amazon, and Facebook. Why struggle with foreign platforms when everything you need is right there? They've even built replicas of famous monuments. Why visit the real Eiffel Tower in France when there's one in Tianducheng? There's a tower bridge in Jiangsu that's supposedly better than London's, a more leaning Tower of Pisa in Shanghai. They're so committed to creating alternatives, they're literally rebuilding the world inside their borders. But here's what really keeps the censors up at night. A quiet network of dissidents operates through encrypted apps like Signal. They share banned articles and resistance information right under the government's nose. They host content on Amazon web servers, where encryption makes it impossible to distinguish legitimate traffic from banned content. They've developed their own slang. Ladder and Vietnamese pho noodles mean VPN services. Narrow neck bottle sounds like Xi Jinping in Chinese. ZF stands for government. Activists in Hong Kong, Tibet, and Xinjiang store money in cryptocurrency that can't be seized or traced. The very technology China uses to control is being turned against it. However, most citizens genuinely don't care. The censorship extends beyond just websites, into every form of media. Not everything gets a dramatic ban. Some sites are just made difficult. Your search results might mysteriously move to page 10. Pages only partially load, leaving you wondering if it's your connection or something more sinister. It's actually gaslighting on a national scale. Movies and TV shows need approval before release in China. James Bond's Skyfall had to cut a scene where a Chinese security guard dies. In Men in Black, 3 scenes were removed showing a Chinese restaurant worker was actually an alien. Anything showing China, Chinese people, dictatorships, or authority in a negative light gets the axe. Here's where the censorship gets creative. They've developed a rule that animals cannot cultivate into monsters after the founding of the People's Republic of China. Therefore, any supernatural content needs to clarify that ghosts and monsters aren't real. There's a popular tomb raiding novel series that had to be completely rewritten for television. The protagonist went from grave robber to patriotic archaeologist who hands treasures over to the state. That phrase became such a meme that Chinese netizens now use it sarcastically whenever someone's obviously lying about their motives. Yet some things you'd expect to be banned aren't. Mad Max films are banned from cinemas, but available on DVD. Back to the Future, same deal. The calculation is simple. The tiny percentage of Chinese citizens who speak English and actively seek out DVDs are politically insignificant. Peppa Pig remains insanely popular despite the supposed ban on talking animals. James Cameron's Avatar, a film about natives rising against colonizers, is only illegal in 2. These cinemas could only show it in 3D, hoping viewers would be too dazzled by the effects to notice the anti-authoritarian message. They were right, but only because Avatar is completely forgettable anyway. This selective enforcement reveals the true strategy behind China's approach to censorship. Many Chinese citizens either don't believe there's a different internet out there, or they think censorship preserves national harmony. As long as they're comfortable, politics and the outside world don't matter. The grass isn't just less green on the other side, they're not even sure there is another side. Maybe that's fine, but luckily we now know what's really going on.